Coal-fired electric power plant, utilities are taking them offline or converting them to natural gas at a huge pace, the equivalent of about 25 power plants last year alone. Here in Wyoming, that is a problem. This is the largest coal-producing state. Two big mining companies, Cloud Peak and Black Jewel, declared bankruptcy just this year. That's taken two Black Jewel mines out of commission. Here in Gillette, output was already down in Wyoming about 30% in the past 5 years. Mining employment down 13% this year alone. And bonuses that the state collects for mining on federal lands have basically dried up. Now, one of the ways that they want to deal with this here in Wyoming is to find new markets for the coal, including exporting them overseas through West Coast ports. Well, the state of Washington in particular has blocked that, citing environmental concerns.
I think it's important that the country realize that if our coastal areas are holding hostage the middle of the country, probably the middle of the country is going to react in some way.
Right now, that reaction is happening in court. Wyoming is backing a lawsuit by the privately held company that is suing Washington State to try and open up that port. 8 landlocked states joining in that friend of the court brief. But this is going to take time, this court battle, and that is time that here in coal country they do not have. Guys?
Scott, this is incredible to me that you have coastal states that are blocking the transportation of coal out of the country from other states. Is there any kind of precedent for this? Because, I mean, coal largely moves by railroad, right? And they are governed by common carrier laws. So I'm wondering what's actually allowed here.
Well, it's an environmental permitting process in Washington State and the Clean Water Act and things like that Washington State is using as the grounds to block this coal terminal that they want to build in Longview, Washington. And the other states not allowing it as well on environmental grounds. And this is what is playing out in court. There is the potential that Wyoming sues Washington State directly. That would escalate things. So far, they've resisted doing that because it is an uphill battle, but that it does bring in constitutional concerns and the Commerce Clause. So for now, they are at a standstill, and really there is no other economical way to export the coal from here other than through these domestic ports.
And obviously, Scott, we've been watching and discussing the change in the usage of natural gas, which is cheaper as an alternative to fire so many of these electric power plants. Is that expected to just continue into the future as far as we can see?
Well, that seems to be the case. I mean, fracking has made natural gas considerably cheaper, in some cases half as expensive as it is to use coal to power an electric power plant. What they're saying here in Wyoming is that you cannot count on that forever, that there could be a situation, whether it's a carbon tax, whether it's global tensions that make natural gas more expensive again, and that's why they feel that they need to keep this coal resource going and keep it viable. But it's really tough just based on the economics right now.